Party started. Let's get this party started. Yeah. So, welcome back. Today, I'm gonna be recreating a red bandana cake. So what I'm doing right now is putting the icing down on my first layer so that I can add the second one on top of it. Once I get that all done, I take my next cake. I level both cakes before the video. So I'm taking my next cake and placing it on top, bottom side up. Always put your top cake bottom side up. So now I'm just preparing to do my crumb coat. When I do my crumb coat, I always start from the top and then work my way down. That's the way I learned, and I feel like it's pretty easy. You just put all the icing at the top, and once you smooth it out, it automatically goes to the sides of the cake anyway. So you just smooth it down the sides. After you smooth out all that was left over from the sides, then I go back and add in more icing wherever it needs to be. So right now I'm just smoothing out all the icing, making sure I cover up all the little patches to catch all the crumbs before I put it in the fridge to chill. Right now I'm scraping off all of the excess icing because you know the crumb coat is just the crumb coat. It's not the actual coat of icing that'll be shown. It's just to make sure that you don't have crumbs in your last layer of icing. So once I think it's perfect, I put it in the fridge for a while and pulled it back out, and now I'm starting to do my second coat of icing. I use the same technique, starting from the top and then working my way down. When I start to put on my final layer of icing, I start off using an offset spatula to smooth all of the icing around, and then once I finish, I go back in with a scraper to make sure it's all level and smooth. When you use a scraper, you might find that it'll leave patches or holes where the icing isn't as thick and so now that I finished smoothing it, I took a clean paper towel to clean around the cake board so there won't be any excess icing, so that it all be neat. This was my first time actually using the edible printout sheets. I ordered mine and it said to apply it directly onto the wet buttercream. So right now I'm figuring out which part of the cake I want to be the front, and I'm actually reading the directions to make sure I did it right. And they come in a Ziploc bag, and I have two, they're both on plastic. So all you do is peel the sheet off of the plastic and place it directly onto the cake, and then you rub it on to make sure that it sticks, and it's just easy as that. So for my second one, it was a phrase that was going on the side of the cake, so I ended up having to cut the sheet before I placed it. So I used my tape measure to measure the cake, and then measure on the sheet so that it'll be the right width, the same width of the cake, or height, whichever you want to call it. So I wanted my lines to make sure my lines were straight, so I just used the back part of my knife guard to make sure my lines were straight while I was cutting. After that, I just popped it off the sheet, and as I was ready to place it, I realized that it was still a little bit too tall, so I took a little off of the top. Then I placed it on the sides and pressed it into the icing. And it's just as simple as that. Now these sheets are completely edible. I actually tasted a piece of the leftover paper after I finished the cake. It wasn't that good, but it was edible. It was kind of sweet, but not really. It was really like eating a piece of real paper. So now I'm moving on to the drip. It was supposed to have chocolate drips down the side of the cake, and I'm using the Wilton candy melts to do that. So I just placed them into a microwave safe bowl and popped them in the microwave. You're supposed to do it on 30-second increments. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yes, this was my first fail. The chocolate was the wrong color. So I took all my precious time to prepare the piping bag and everything to put the chocolate on. I knew the chocolate was the wrong color before I put it on there, but I thought maybe it might match. So I did it anyway like a dummy. So I started to pipe the chocolate on. That's when I realized it was the total wrong color. So I ended up having to wait and let it dry so that I could peel it off to do it again. So right now I'm trying to adjust the color. I put a few white chocolate melts into it, and honestly it still was not the right color, but I tried it anyway. Fail number 2. I added liquid food color into my chocolate. And we all know adding liquid into chocolate is a big no-no, but I did it anyway, like a dummy. And the chocolate seized, and after that, it was still the wrong color. But luckily, you can always save chocolate milk by adding vegetable oil to your chocolate. So I added a little bit of vegetable oil and everything came back together like it was supposed to. Common sense would tell me maybe I should just stop. But no, I did not stop. I continued to try to put this drip onto this cake. Fail number 3. I tried to pipe the chocolate onto the cake and it looked horrible. It looked like candle wax dripping down the side of this cake. So I was like, that's just unacceptable. I don't know why I tried to fix it. I don't know why, but I did. So after I figured out that that was not gonna work, I had to let it harden again so that I could pull it off. Even my little brother agreed that it looked bad. It looked horrible. So now I'm finally deciding that drip may not be the answer. So I'm just adding some diamond or rhinestone strips around the bottom, and I'm going to do the same around the top once the chocolate dries so that I can pull it off. Right here you can see me cutting the strips. Each rhinestone strip has like 4 separate sections. It's 4 rhinestone sticks. So right now I'm separating it and cutting it into single strips so that I can outline the phrase in the front of the cake. Now I'm measuring the rhinestones so that I can outline the phrase in the front. I just placed it on, saw where it stopped and cut, and did the same for both sides. Now I'm taking my last strip. It was not long enough, so I just went ahead and placed it to the front, and I used the leftover that I had after the chocolate was dry to finish and wrap it around the back. So right now I'm using my spatula again to peel off the chocolate. It was dry enough for me to pull it off, so I'm just peeling off the chocolate so that I can fix the icing for the 3rd time and add my rhinestones around the top. So once I got that on, I made sure everything was straight, and that is the finished product. Success! Thanks for watching.